He is, indeed. Oh, Justin!
Damn.
I'm going to be in Duluth.
Hello.
Hey!
Hello!
Audio levels are good. All
Yeah.
On time.
Excellent.
Cody doesn't have us muted, I think.
I do not.
They're
Okay.
me,
Cody's
Shots.
mic is working, I think.
It is. Unlike the
Yay!
Diablo 4 gameplay that we currently have on the stream where it cut out after the first, 2 minutes. And I didn't know. So that was fun. I also we lost a child that I sat here with all last
You
week.
can't say that.
You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
say that. Oh my
I
God.
can I finish the sentence? My child was a guest here last week because she was being an asshat and would only snuggle with me, and she basically took Justin's spot. But now we gained Justin back, and my child is not being an asshat. She is laying in the living room watching Little Angel. So
I can't believe you've done this.
you're just gonna clip it. We've lost a child. Ah! This milk cartons and everything about to go around. I would not be on the stream if we lost a child. I would have other things to worry about. I love you guys.
So must go on.
Yeah, I love you guys, but I would not be here for that.
Professionalism right there. You leave that shit at the door, okay? I don't care if your kid's missing.
Yep, that's us. That's our MO.
Oh man. Our MO is well, we didn't break anything today, but of course I said something fucked up within the first 5 seconds. So
It's an interesting trade-off.
yeah. Oh man, boys, what have you been playing this week? Whoever wants to go first.
Buddy, I'll go first. Dalton beat my wife.
Okay, that's almost
can't say
worse than what I said.
So I've been playing Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. And you can name your hero units in Bannerlord, right? So I've been naming them after my friends. So like my friend Dalton is a character in there. And when you go to do a tournament, all of your companions have the chance to like join the tournament and like fight in the arena.
Correct. Yes.
And so he ended up 1v1ing my wife, Siga, who is like a fucking beast. She's like a maxed out unit. She has like over 300 skill in one-handed.
Wow,
And she is
holy
literally
fuck.
the #1 champion of the arena fights across all of Calradia. And so he got into a 1v1 axe fight with her, and somehow, by the grace of God, he beat her, and I was shocked.
You know what I'm shocked about? Learning I'm dyslexic, because I've always read it as Caldaria.
Oh,
Like you said that, and I went, "Wait, what?"
How long have you been playing Mountain Blade?
Like, you know that buffering meme? 100% me. Like, I was just like, what?
That's so funny.
Oh, God.
You mean Caldaria?
Oh, man. Tim, if you were still making all the TikToks, it's perfect. It's
That'd be the
perfect.
moment.
There's
Yeah.
so much content in the first
Alright.
5 minutes. Dalton beat my wife. What?
Oh, my God. Well, that is amazing. Is
More
that...
fucked up because one of my employees is named Dalton.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
This is even more real.
Yeah.
It's too real.
Yeah, dude, Bannerlord. I've been playing a bunch of it, man. I've been having a really good time in there.
I need to get back into Banner.
Yeah, I always like Bannerlord, but I have the problem of outside of the fact that I don't ever finish anything to begin with, where like I create a character and I have a good time in like the first like 5 to 15 hours, and then it's like, oh, but I can't do this because I'm like skilled out of it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like
Can't do
it's,
everything.
right. It's just like I want to do everything. Like, you know what I mean? And then it's like, yeah, maybe I'll restart as like a trader. TRADER, not a
Traitor.
Yeah.
The rebel faction.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's just yeah, I don't know. But Mountain Blade, that's the beauty of Mountain Blade. You can do whatever the fuck you want, basically. So I don't know. So I don't blame you for playing that. I don't blame you at all.
All right, Tim, what kind of crazy shit can you say?
I've been playing Elden Ring a lot again.
Whoa,
Notice.
Tim, you can't say that.
What can I say that's crazy? I wish I had a bleep like hotkey ready. I wish I could bleep myself. I don't have that set up right now. Need to fix that. No, I nothing crazy. I've been tired a lot. Shocker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been playing a lot of old games. Like I've been playing a lot of like Sega games and other stuff that I have set up to emulate on my thing. I was playing a game the other day that I really wish I still had my Indigo GBA. And I miss a lot of my games from that. So I've been playing a lot of the games that I had for Game Boy, but I don't have my Game Boy. So I was playing Godzilla. There's a guy. So there were multiple games that released at the same time with like the same picture on them, and they were called different things for different systems. Let me see if I can remember. Let me look
Weird
up what the
old
Game
Godzilla
Boy one
game.
was. Yeah, it's like
Oh, right. They'd have
you-
like different games for the different consoles, but they'd come out at the same time.
Yeah, and it's like
'cause they can just
actually
port
the
them.
same game, but they just ported it and they named it something completely different on each system because reasons.
It was
But
the
yeah,
Wild
so
West
like
back then.
it's basically it's a kaiju battler where like you're fighting like it's a fighting game, but you also destroy the city and you can get like healing stuff from destroying certain buildings, and it got me thinking while I was playing that. I was like, how has no one made a licensed Godzilla game with like, especially now with how crazy destructible environments are getting in games? Like, what's that shooter that we were talking about before? It just
The
came out?
finals.
Yeah, the finals. Like, think about like the finals level destructibility, but you play as a normal ass person trying to survive while Godzilla tears apart Tokyo or some shit.
Oh
Like
my
as
God.
a horror game. Like that would be amazing.
It could be like the Alien game with the xenomorph chasing you, but it's Godzilla smashing through the building trying to grab you and shit. That would be cool.
Like the most terrifying part of it is he doesn't even care about you. It's just like a massive kaiju battle happening outside of a window, and you're just trying to escape. Like, just like that made me that idea just made me go, oh my god! Like, I really wish I was able to make video games at any appreciable level, because that would be amazing. Yeah, I've been playing stuff like that, NHL 94. I've been playing more Elden Ring, just kind of everything. Like, I've realized that my desktop is basically my OLIP Discord machine.
Oh,
I haven't done anything else with it lately.
Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I would love to have the time where I'm at home and my wife's not at my desk where I can play on my desktop. That hasn't been the case lately. She's been working a lot and I've been working a lot, so it's like Steam Deck all the time. Steam Deck in bed, Steam Deck on the couch, Steam Deck in the car while she drops me off at work, Steam Deck on my lunch break. Like,
I mean, it's beautiful that you even have time to play games now, because that didn't used to be the case.
This has my Steam Deck, which I have right here, has created so much extra time for me to play games, because I can do it while I'm, like, you know, doing
on
whatever.
the toilet.
Like, it's amazing. Yeah, you can play. I can play.
I 100% on the toilet. That's what the Switch has always been used for. Before we get too far away from your Godzilla idea, fantastic idea. But I, of course, would like to ruin it a little bit, and I would like to use the Godzilla from like the early 2000s, late 90s or whatever, where they had the little Godzilla guys running around chasing you. I don't know if that ruins it or if it makes it better, but that's what I thought of.
I think that's cool, but like I think the way that you do it, you do maybe like an initial release where it's Godzilla and Mothra or Ghidorah or something, right? Like one of the classic monsters. And then you have expansions that add different monsters, different stuff. So you don't like maybe one playthrough with Godzilla as and you could do it as an asynchronous multiplayer game.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, you could.
That's what I was thinking.
You could even have like multiple, like one person control one kaiju, one person control another kaiju, but you are not their objective. Their objective is to fight each other, and you are just playing as like that would be. It's two games in one. Like there's so many different ways you could go with that.
Make it a Twitch game, and like your viewers are the people running around trying not to die, and like a Fall Guys type thing, and then the streamer is just fighting like a CPU or something like that. You know what I mean?
It'd be amazing.
We just came up with $1 million idea, and none of us can make it.
How realistic is this as a game to make? I don't know. I really don't. But it would be so cool.
It would be. I mean, it's probably makeable. Very much so. So, anyways, I've been playing Dredge.
Tell us about it, man.
Yeah, so the best way I've been able to describe it, it's like if you like Moonglow Bay, which is a Game Pass game, and where you ride around in a boat and you fish, and then you like sell said fish, and then you also like Cthulhu, you will probably like Dredge, because it has that gameplay loop where you're going out and you're fishing. And you're fishing because you can get upgrades for your boat, so you can get bigger fish and this, that, and the other thing. And then you'll be doing little side quests for these like islands. These islands have like small villages on them, right? And it's like, hey, can you go over here and get this thing from this wrecked ship? Yeah, cool, whatever, not a big deal. And then out of nowhere, a one-eyed giant fish with like spikes on its back come out of the like you could see the cutout in the island, right? And it comes out and it just rakes your ship, and all of a sudden you lose an engine. It takes away your inventory space with the hull damage, and you're just trying to run away. And it's like, nah, bitch, get back here. And it's chasing you, and you're just like, no. And yeah, it's just it's a good time. So
there's always a bigger fish.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. There's always a bigger fish. And that's just the mild stuff that I ran into in like the first 4 or 5 hours. So at night it gets very dark, and you can like install like brighter lights and stuff on your ship so you can see farther. But there's also, you have like a foghorn, and there's an achievement if at night you blow your foghorn, a ship in the darkness will blow their foghorn back, right?
Aw.
And that ship also will chase you. And I don't know what happens if it catches you, but it's terrifying, and I don't feel like finding out. So yeah, it's got a lot of really cool mechanics. The vibe's really cool. Like I was riding around and I found an SOS signal on like a beach, and like I found a dude who was stranded, and I had to clear out my inventory, but I got him on the boat and I brought him back to one of the little villages and stuff, and got rewarded for that. There's a lot of cool little mechanics in the game, and it's a good game. Like this is a good game.
Yeah, seeing some love in the chat from Alan for Dredge.
Yes, Alan, I'm glad that you are also enjoying it.
Oh my God, Alan's alive.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've seen Alan in a hot minute. Am I wrong?
It's the first time I've seen Alan in a hot minute. Justin just saw Alan the other day, I'm sure.
No, that's true.
Nope.
No.
No?
No?
Oh.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, Alan has apparently
Wish it
already
was
finished
longer.
Dredge. Yeah, I don't believe that it is a very long game. I kind of pegged it as like a 20-hour game, but yeah.
I think
Oh.
he meant longer since he's been here. As a joke.
Oh.
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 Got to get up at 5 a.m. Woo. That is
Same, bro.
early.
Yeah, that is early as hell. I've been trying to get up that early to like do a little bit of cardio before work. Haven't made it out of bed yet. I haven't
good
gotten
luck.
that first step. I've done it in the past, but I'm old now, so it's just it's not as easy as it used to be. Just be fuck it, 3 hours of sleep, I don't care. Just get out and let's go for a run. You know what I mean?
Nuts.
So no, it was nuts. I can't do that anymore. You know what else is nuts? All the April Fool's jokes. Justin, you were deep diving into these that happened this past weekend.
Yeah, I saw some good stuff. Let me find my list that I forgot that I made here. April Fool's Day stuff. So one of the things that was fun is like I haven't played Overwatch for I don't know how long now, but they had some like joke patch notes for like all the characters. A couple of the standouts. Roadhog, my favorite character, of course, has a hook, pulls people in.
Yep.
They gave him a buff. They increased his hook distance by 50%, and it has like developer commentary for every change. And for his, it was Roadhog's main thing is he hooks people that are in bad positioning to bring them in and kill them. So they're supposed to keep good positioning. So
Right.
what we've done is we've made it so all positioning is bad positioning now.
I like that.
Another good one was Genji. He has a like 5% chance for when he uses the "I need healing" voice line to just heal himself because no one else is going to do it. Yeah, they were all
That's
pretty
too
good,
good.
man. There was
That
some
one's
good
way
stuff in
too
there.
good. Oh shit.
So that was sweet. I don't know if you saw the Valheim April Fool's thing. Undear Nightmare, I think it was called,
Oh man.
where they showed off like summoning like deer people to fight for you.
Yes.
And, like it was a whole thing. Like at first, I was like, "Whoa, oh my god, a new skill! What day is it?" It looked
That would be
so
so
good.
cool. You know, Cody would immediately be like that because
Yeah.
necromancer.
Yes,
Yes.
100%. Well, and I do recall saying that when Valheim first came out, I was like, I really like a lot of this stuff, but I wish I could automate some of it. I wanted villagers. I wanted to be able to build like a little village and then actually recruit villagers to do some of the menial tasks that once you've progressed past that.
Farming.
Like, hey, cook this shit for me, please. Like, just
My
automate.
trees.
Yeah, just automate this so I can go cut more shit down and build walls
So you wanted
at
the forest,
ungodly heights.
Oh yeah.
No, because the forest, they will destroy my base. That's what they will do.
which is funny.
It is funny. It is funny.
Yeah, the other funny thing that I really liked was Sega put out an entire video game on Steam for free called The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yep.
which was amazing. The kind of trailer for it is just like this dramatic music and boom. We've heard your feedback. Boom boom. all your feedback. Boom. Sonic is dead. God damn it.
It's
But
hilarious.
yeah, I played it. I finished it earlier today. It was a really fun little like point and click mystery kind of adventure thing.
Right.
A lot of humor, just very funny. They got to show off. I think there were like six of the characters in there. It was just a really cute little thing. It was really well done, like above and beyond, I think, what anyone expects for these kinds of jokes.
Right.
So it was really cool.
Yeah, I remember seeing, like I said, I saw it on Steam, and I literally, nothing clicked. I didn't think April Fools or nothing. I was like, Sonic. Justin likes Sonic. I'm just gonna put it in the chat and tag him in it, and then I keep on my merry way. I didn't even look into it any further. And then he's like, yeah, it was April Fool's joke. I was like, oh, I thought it was like some random fan made thing. Like I didn't look at it at all.
Another funny thing about that was the description for it was like there's an FAQ and it was like, is this game canon? And it just said, this game was not developed by Sonic Team, but anything can be headcanon if you want it to be.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is good.
I love it.
It's a good time.
Yep.
I love Sega.
Question. Actually, hold on, Justin. Do you have any more April Fools before I ask this question?
One other thing that I just kind of saw briefly was Elite Dangerous put out like a newsflash warning thing, like we've discovered this unidentified vessel. It's like the size of a planet. Blah 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 blah. We've only received one message from them, and it says heresy.
Oh no!
Yeah, 40K.
Yeah, they made a 40K reference.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god!
hilarious.
I do love
Yeah, I
that.
love
Please,
seeing that
Elite Dangerous. Please.
I would love to play a
Please.
40K
Yes.
Elite
Could you imagine,
Dangerous
dude?
expansion.
Do the
I haven't played
crossover.
Elite Dangerous in like 6 years,
Either
and
have
I would
but
immediately be there.
100%. I would be like, let me
Oh, the Emperor.
pilot this gigantic
Yes.
spaceship for no fucking reason. You know? Oh my god. You know, I'm gonna be honest. The only reason I don't play Elite Dangerous, because that game is fucking gorgeous, is because I want a full cockpit setup to play it. Like it's so immersive kind of thing that I just like I want to do like the three TVs all around me kind of thing. And you're just like you're just fucking in it, dude. Oh man, that's a gorgeous game. No, I was gonna ask have you guys seen this Demonologist game? I can't remember if I put it in the chat or not.
It was on my Steam queue, but I haven't looked
I
at
don't
it.
think so.
It looks like you guys saw the Mortician Assistant game.
I
Nope.
don't know.
Oh man, I'm the biggest pansy here. Why am I keeping up with this? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I did see. I think you posted it, but I read the description. I was like, it's just Phasmophobia. I don't care.
Dude, it looks like Phasmophobia and the Mortician Assistant had a fucking baby. Because the Mortician Assistant is like, it's spooky. Like, it's really spooky. It's not like, it's not, you know that, oh fuck, what the hell was it? There was that game that came out like a few months after like 6 months after Phasmophobia, and it was more like a Scooby-Doo thing where you could, like, everybody could go in the house, but the ghost could chase you outside the house and still, like, kill you and stuff like that. But it was just a little bit more goofy. I forget what that one was named. But then the Mortician Assistant came out, and that game, like, has scares in it that, like, it doesn't even alert you to. Like, it'll be things that you, like, just see out of the corner of your eye and stuff like that you can easily miss, but if you see it, it's fucking creepy as hell. Markiplier played through it, Jacksepticeye played through it, and they both had, like, different jump scares that they reacted to and stuff, so it was, like, super cool. This seems like that, where it's, like, Phasmo, and there's, like, going to be obvious things, but there's also going to be, like, hey, there's a shadow creature in the corner that you may or may not see. I don't know. You know what I mean? And just, like,
subtlety.
Yeah, kind of shit yourself a little bit, you know? I don't know, it's 15
Or
bucks.
don't, because you don't see it and you're completely oblivious to everything.
Yeah, that would be me. I'd just be like, I'm running.
Dude, oh my gosh, yeah, playing Phasmo, someone notices something and they're just gone
Yeah.
silently out the door, like, where'd you go? Oh, fuck, it's a hunt.
Oh man, yeah, Phasmo. We had a lot of good times. I've actually, if you guys wanted to get this at some point, it's $15. But the 4-player co-op. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, it keeps popping up on my queue, and I'm like, it must be good. It does have 1,600 reviews that are very positive, so.
It's pretty solid.
Hey, I didn't put this in the chat at all, but did you guys see that the United States sent Japan a letter basically saying, hey, you want to look into Sony's 98% monopoly on the video game market? Because that seems like there's probably some unfair practices happening there, and that goes against our trade agreement.
Where'd they get this percentage, dude?
So they're using the FTC's version of the high-end gaming market, which excluded Nintendo.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hilarious.
That's really funny.
So anybody who knows anything about the gaming industry understands that Nintendo beats everybody's ass in Japan. It doesn't matter who you are. They're the number one seller, right?
Yeah.
But the FTC and Lena, whatever the hell her name is, Khan, doesn't know anything about gaming and has obviously more of a political agenda when it comes to big companies and all that kind of stuff. Whatever. But yeah, when they were doing their initial argument against the Microsoft Activision merger kind of thing, they excluded Nintendo and said that only Microsoft and Sony are in the high-end gaming market kind of thing. So now, I mean, it's weak, right? Because once again, anybody who pays attention understands that Nintendo is a gigantic player in this kind of thing. But yeah, so it
That's
looks
funny. I do remember seeing a headline about that. There's a joke, and it was just like, U.S. regulatory body learns about Final Fantasy.
Yes. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. Because they're what they wanted is basically to have Sony's practices looked into and kind of the third party exclusives and stuff like that, paying for games not to be on Game Pass and. You know, and
it sounds like it sounds like all that talking flying Jim Ryan was doing with the FTC board 100%. Is backfiring.
Well, it is a little bit. This is a little bit okay, you poke the bear a little. You know what I mean? We're a $1 trillion company. You shouldn't fuck with us. We understand you didn't want the merger to go through, but hey, fuck you. You know what I mean? We have a lot of lobbyists in Washington. I think I've been listening. Do you guys know who Destin is? Have you seen him? He works for IGN, but he's been I think he's on paternity leave or something like that. So he's been doing YouTube content about this Xbox Microsoft merger specifically. And so I don't watch all of his videos, but ones like this I tune into. And he had a hour-long interview with I'm gonna butcher this dude's name. I have to look it up. I have to look it up. I think it's Law Hodge.
Who's this guy?
He's a legitimate. He's an actual lawyer, and he does a YouTube channel about cases and stuff in the video game industry. So obviously, the Microsoft Activision merger is kind of a big deal, and
right.
So yeah, let me.
The video game lawyer. I've heard of that channel.
Hang on. Are you talking about Hague Law? Hoeg.
Yeah.
He's from Minnesota.
Is he?
And I hear Mr. Matty Plays reference him all the time.
Yeah.
And he always calls him Hogue Law, which is why I think you just called him Law Hodge.
Yeah. I knew I was gonna get it wrong. I'm
pretty sure you're talking about Hague Law, which is
So Hoeg Law is so however frick you say that, I'm gonna butcher it again, so I'm not gonna repeat it. Hague. Okay, Hague Law. Yeah. But yeah, dude's an actual lawyer, right? And so Destin had an hour-long interview basically talking about all of this stuff kind of thing. And I was raking leaves the other day in my yards, and I didn't have shit else to do other than fucking listen to this. So, it's really interesting. It's interesting from the fact that this has major ramifications going forward. You could legitimately see something coming out of this, where maybe they're going to be like, hey, you're not allowed to pay for games to not be on Game Pass anymore, right? Because
Right.
it's not fair
No.
per the U.S.
Michigan. He's from Michigan.
Oh, well,
My
it's
bad.
close enough in the Blakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, you might see something like that. I don't think you'll be able to stop, you know, the whole like third-party exclusives in general kind of thing. But I think like, hey, you can't put this on a streaming service. Maybe that's a bit too far. I don't know. We'll see. It's like I said, it's all super interesting. But Tim and I talked about it last week about how it's looking more and more likely that the deal is going to go through here. So
Yeah.
which will be good for gamers. I don't know about consolidation of the industry, but you know what I mean. It'll be good if you got Game Pass.
It'll be good for Game Pass.
Yeah,
gamers, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, 100%. Like, it'll make losing that $1 plan worth it a little bit more since they're still only charging 15 right now. Which, speaking about that, has anybody else seen that family plan thing?
I haven't seen anything about it since
I
that
need
one
them
picture.
to do that so much.
Yeah,
That's
So
such
there's-
a good deal.
If you
Yeah.
live in Ireland or I think it's Australia was the other one. Like
They were
they still have
testing it.
like the test programs going, so
Yeah.
you can have like
Oh.
an Xbox Game Pass family plan, so that I could have Logan playing on that Xbox and I could play on my Xbox and it wouldn't kick him off. Because right now, that's exactly what happens. If I want to play Madden, hey buddy, are you gonna take a break from playing Minecraft for a bit? No. Okay, well, fuck me.
you know, I was more thinking we need it so we can all get on a family pass.
Hell yeah, dude! I would definitely be down. Because what did they show for the price on that one?
It was like if you split it up, it was $8
It's like
per
8 per
person.
person.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wanna say-
that's not bad at all.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was less than 8 per person because it was up to, I think, 5 accounts.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
was
I
thinking
think it was like
4.
$25 or something.
If it's only a $10
It's more
jump,
than that.
yeah. If it's only a $10 jump, fuck, I'd pay that out of pocket myself to be able to pay for 5 people to have Game Pass. Are you crazy?
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
It's funny to see Nintendo innovating something again. 'cause
Right.
They have their Nintendo Switch Online family plan. Where you
Right.
can have 8 people on it, all sharing. So, and that's super cheap comparatively, of course.
Yeah, isn't it like $10?
For the year, yeah.
It's like $32 for the year for me.
Yeah,
the
for the
family.
single plan.
Yeah. Well, no, I have Sarah on it, and
Oh, okay.
maybe it was a little more. I forget. It
Yeah,
wasn't
Yeah.
it's
more,
not very expensive. But yeah, you are right. It is funny to see Nintendo innovate anything at this point outside of what's in Zelda. Like,
Yeah, dude. I
you
mean,
know?
and especially in the online realm.
Right.
Like, whoa.
Right.
Well, we say that, but there is something that Nintendo fucking pisses me off with. In my household, we have 2 Switches.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's mine / my wife's,
Mhm.
and Logan has a Switch Lite now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the games that I bought on my account were actually for Logan to play, so I installed them on his Switch. My Switch is my home Switch.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I already
He
know where
can't
this
play
is
those
going.
games.
Yep.
So dumb.
100%. Yep. That's exactly how that works.
So yeah, they're innovating, but also if you're playing on my Xbox and you sign into my account, you can play the games that I have on my Xbox, and it doesn't matter.
You want to know what made me stop playing Animal Crossing when it came out? I had my island on my Switch Lite, and I wanted to play it on my TV.
And it went bye-bye.
No, it didn't go bye-bye. It just wouldn't, I would log in onto the other Switch, and it wouldn't let me do it. Because they locked it to a single console. I couldn't
Yeah.
even switch my home Switch. I couldn't switch it from the Lite to the dockable one and do it. It was just like, no, one island per whatever. And I was like, well, I wanted to play it on my TV, but fuck me, I guess.
Yeah,
So
Nintendo
what-
nonsense.
Yeah.
You
What
can't,
I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna make his Switch my home Switch because I never play on mine.
Yeah.
And Sarah doesn't play any of those games. I sometimes play on his Switch Lite, so I can just play on my account on the games on my Switch, and then when I'm not using them on my Switch Lite, he can play them.
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of the Switch, what do you guys think about the new trailer for Tears of the Kingdom?
Did we talk about it last week? I think we did. Did they
I-
come? Oh, my bad.
I believe I
I'm-
called it more Legend of Zelda, and Cody was like, "It's really cool that you could take a stick and a rock and make a thing," and I was like,
Yes.
"Yeah,
No.
that's
Though
really cool."
it's the way that they allow the
I
user
know.
to do it. That's like,
Yeah,
I-
like the idea that you can make like a vehicle out of shit that's just laying around, like you can make
Yeah.
like a boat out of like shit that there's a lot of stuff that's really cool, and I don't know, I think it'll be fun, but I liked Breath of the Wild, and I think it's one of the best games ever on the Switch, but it's not one of my favorite open world games. It's like there are things I really like about it, but I'm gonna play Tears of the Kingdom, but I don't think I'm gonna like put 500 hours into it like I do in other
Yeah.
open world games.
I feel the same way. Like Breath of the Wild, I really enjoyed the discovery aspect, but once I had been everywhere, it kind of lost its appeal.
yeah.
Were you guys surprised that they didn't announce a Switch 2 with Tears of
No.
the Kingdom?
No, because Nintendo's fucking stupid. Like, I'm so sick of their shit with this. Get me a more powerful console, or let me play it on my Steam Deck. Either unlock the bitch or give me a new one. Not an OLED upgrade that I now regrettably have because I made poor decisions for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Just give upgrade. Holy, I don't. Why
What
is
is
it
it?
so
3
hard?
years in a row that we keep getting a Switch 2, Switch Pro, Super
rumors?
Switch rumors or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
What
yeah.
we're gonna wind up getting is a fucking Switch Lite OLED next. Because that's what
I
Nintendo's
should-
doing. They're like,
I should
"We've
kick you
heard
in the
you.
dick
You
for
want
even
new
saying that."
hardware, OLED screen on your Switch Lite," which is
I've-
cool and like that'd be dope. But also, why?
Like,
Yeah, it's one of those things. Who asked for this?
I'm sure there is a market for it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a Nintendo fan and you always play on docked, like, why not get the cheaper version and, get the OLED screen? Like, I get it, but at the same time, it's the same hardware that's in my fucking phone. Like, just modernize. Like, I don't understand. Once again, just like with Pokemon, I don't understand what's so hard about this. Obviously I don't run a business, but you make money like hand over fist off of one franchise. And now I've been buying up Nintendo stock with anticipating the release of this new fucking game because I know their stocks can go up a little bit when it happens. But it's just like, give me the Switch 2. Just do
It
it.
depends. So you say that their stocks can go up. It might, but here is the one
It already
thing
went
that
up with the trailer. So.
Well, here's the one thing that Nintendo has going for them. Steam Deck is sold at a loss.
Yeah.
The PlayStation is sold at a loss.
Yeah.
The Xbox, all the Xboxes, they're sold at a loss, except for maybe the Series S, maybe. Nintendo actually makes money on their hardware because they use old ass hardware that they
all
can
the more reason
get
why they should
below
make a new one.
cost. Right, but if we want them to make one that's going to run games at 1080p, modern games at 1080p, look at the surrounding. The Steam Deck doesn't do that.
No, but I could.
The Neo Air doesn't do that.
Could you do it? Could you do that? Could you play Elden Ring on a Switch?
No.
No. You can barely play The Witcher 3 on the Switch. Trust me, I know because when I was deployed, I dealt with it. Right? I was just like, hey, fuck it. I will deal with the degradation just because I'm in an austere environment. That's all I got. Okay, I'm not there right now. Right? My standards are not that low. It can't play like Call of Duty is supposed to come day and date to every future Switch for the next
Like
10
600p.
years. How? Streaming. That's the only way because it's not modernized. Like, it's past the point where it's like, oh, this makes good business sense. You're harming the... Like, that was my one issue with the Zelda... I think I put it in the chat. Is my one issue watching the Zelda thing. This game looks like fucking shit. It doesn't look good.
Oh my god.
Like, it...
There are a lot of Switch games that I would agree with you on. I think the art style for Zelda goes along.
No. Watch him climbing the rock. Watch him climbing up the rocks or whatever. It looks like it's fucking copy pasted from Pokemon. Like, the grass looks a little bit better. I'll give you that. it's obviously 5 years old grass from fucking Breath of the Wild. Like it does not look good. Like it doesn't look good. And everybody who's saying that it does look good, no offense, it's nostalgia because you like Breath of the Wild.
It looks as good as Breath of the Wild, I would say.
Okay, well that was 5 years ago. Like most games get most games get dunked on for looking half a decade old. I'm just saying.
Some games do get dunked on for looking half a decade old, and I will agree with you there. A lot
AAA
of games do
games.
get dunked on for that.
AAA games.
But I also will say there's a lot of games that don't get dunked on for looking old because the art style carries them a long way. Valheim looks gorgeous. It also looks like the polygons are from 2008. It doesn't
also
look
made
modern.
by like 3 people.
I know, but my point being that like I don't agree that Breath of the Wild looks awful. I think it looks
Breath of the Wild, for the type, like the standard of game that it is supposed to be, like it doesn't look good. Like
You can't compare it to a different console because that's different hardware, man. They can't make it look that good. Like
that's
they
the
can't put
but
that many
that's
polygons
the
into it.
overall point of the conversation.
Counterpoint
Sure.
to Justin though, right? So this is a point for Cody's favor. It's $70, so they are charging you the same as you could do for other games on other consoles. Where I do think $70 for a Switch game is kind of fucking crazy.
Well, the value for art is very subjective.
That's true.
That's true. And I agree that it looks. I think it looks good. I don't know.
Yeah, I do agree that they could probably make it look better if they actually had some fucking good hardware in there. But I think it looks fine as it is. I think it looks good.
Right, but for a game that's supposed to be the follow up, which I will say the trailer made me feel a lot better about. Because I know I've been pretty negative about Zelda overall being able to hit the same heights that Breath of the Wild can. Because, it's like reasonably, it's probably not going to. But what they displayed, I was like, oh, I can kind of see a path where maybe it's still not like as good, but it's still a fantastic 10 out of 10 type game, right? That you could get.
Yeah, a lot of very cool mechanics.
Right. But I just, I feel like they're doing a disservice to these games by holding them back with the hardware. Like the game could be better. I obviously don't know this for sure, but I can probably guarantee you there are probably some other mechanics that they wanted to put in the game that they probably can't because the hardware's so old. Sure. You know what I mean? I think that's fair speculation, even if it's not, like there's no concrete proof, like we'll never know. I can almost guarantee you that there's probably something out there like that. But any other AAA company, right, or like first party game, if it came out looking like this, they'd be like, "Well, this doesn't look good." You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't.
I disagree.
I don't. I think art style wise, graphics wise, I think it looks fine. Where I'm gonna counterpoint myself though is normally, because I said earlier, like there's a lot of games that look like that look fine, and I don't have a problem with the graphics. However, most of the games outside of the Switch that look like that run at anywhere from 60 to like 120 FPS on anything else. And we're hoping for a steady 30 on the Switch. We're hoping to God that this game doesn't dip to like 20 below.
Yeah.
I want to have my cake and eat it too. I think it looks fine, but I am concerned about the performance on the Switch because games run like shit on the Switch. I made the mistake of trying to play Mortal Kombat 11 on my way home tonight on my wife's Switch because I was too lazy to bring out my Steam Deck and switch it. Because I have Mortal Kombat on one SD card this one's almost full, so I pop the other one in when I want to play some of the other games. And I was like, I don't want to dig around in my bag, grab the other SD card, plonk it in there. Okay, I'm just going to play it on the Switch. Maybe it's not as bad as I remember. Oh, God, the ladder loading screen is giving me moving sickness. No. This is god-awful.
Yeah.
So...
I think it really does come down to the fact that the Switch itself needs to die because its time has passed. Just like E3 has admitted that it is time for E3 to die, and its time is passed.
That is a fantastic transition. Is it F's in the chat? Because I think we did
For what
F's.
E3 once was, yes. For what it was the last 8 years, no.
I beat.
Yeah. Jeff finally killed it.
I know.
He fucking did it.
Dude, he like danced on their corpse. I can't
Dude.
remember what he said on the Twitter
He was
post.
like right after the announcement.
Yeah, he was like, "Summer's Game Fest." Like
Dude, yeah. It was funny seeing
Hey.
he posted a picture of him at his first ever E3 when he was like 15 years old. It was just him in his like suit jacket, just how
Yeah.
he always looks.
yeah, dude. Man, yeah, E3. I mean, we all saw it coming. I was surprised it was going on this year, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he left the board that ran E3 because he told them that, you know, you guys aren't modernizing, and the game, it's a changing landscape. Like, things are more digital. You have to adapt with it, and they wouldn't. So he left. And guess what?
Yeah,
was right.
Games Fest is going on. Yeah, he was more than right. It's crazy.
Yeah, good for him because Summer Game Fest is pretty solid replacement for E3. I would say.
It had a rocky year there a couple years ago where every 30 seconds was an ad. I will not forget that because that was awful. But they did way better this past year.
It's always memorable.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, what was memorable about the last one?
Was that where Chris Judge spoke forever?
Oh,
and
yeah,
ever, and they had to play the music, and he just kept going.
Oh my god, dude! It's almost been a year since that happened.
Yeah.
Time moves so fast when you're old.
Mhm.
Tim told me we were talking yesterday, and he told me that he worked at GameStop for like 9 months, and I was like, "What?" I thought it was like 4. I thought it was like 4, and he was like, "No."
I love how my wife tried to be sneaky to get her charger,
Yeah.
and was like trying to, and the
camera
camera
just
definitely
picked
like
her up.
unblurred. It was just like, that's a human over there.
Camera's doing its
camera-
best
She's
over
like, I
here.
tried.
It's
hilarious.
okay. It's okay. But
Oh my God.
yeah. Tim told me he worked at GameStop for 9 months. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's that whole fucking meme. Just
Yeah, we were talking about it, and he was like, I mean, you weren't even there that long. You were there for like what, like 3 months? I was like, no, man, I was there for like almost a year. What? I was like,
If-
I left last March.
if that
That's so
doesn't.
funny.
So Tim, I don't know. I know we've talked this week, but I don't know if I told you. I started a new position on Tuesday. If that
Yep.
doesn't tell you how lost I was in that fucking job every day, I'd like time ceased to exist. Monday through Friday was a blur. I didn't know what was happening.
The Australian wildfires were only 4 years ago. We
I'm
talk
sorry.
about it all the time.
We
Like
do.
right before COVID, at the beginning of 2019,
Yeah.
all of Australia was like on fire,
Yeah,
Mhm.
end of 2019, beginning of 2020.
and that feels like it was a decade ago.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
4 years. That's
Yeah.
just been 4
Yeah.
years. That's
Yeah.
it. That was like a blink of an eye ago, and
Time
it doesn't
has
feel
been
like it.
condensed.
yeah.
Yeah, yep. Somebody killed a gorilla. Now time is broken.
Right, yeah, this is the bad timeline. Oh.
This
Pour one out for
is
Harambe.
where we're at. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about PlayStation's thing?
Hold on. I actually do want to talk about Dark and Darker. Because one,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
here, and
that's our
two, it was titled
We
Dark
almost
and
forgot
Darker
again.
last week, and we didn't talk about it. So we should
Yeah.
probably talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So to lay it out for anyone who doesn't know what's going on, Dark and Darker, great game that's in development by this studio Iron Maze. They did a playtest not too long ago, blew up, huge. Everyone loves it. Great game, whatever. The people who make it used to work at Nexon, who makes shit tons of games. They pump them out. They were working on a project called P3, which was basically the same kind of thing that Dark and Darker ended up being. And the lead on that basically was told he had to abandon the project. They weren't going to keep doing it. And he was like, cool, I quit. Bye. Anyone want to come make this game with me? Come join my studio. We'll make a studio. So he went, made his own studio. They developed Dark and Darker from scratch. And after the huge success of their initial playtest, Nexon was like, we're suing you. You are stealing our shit. We are suing you. So they're currently in a legal battle with Nexon, and they've been pretty transparent about everything on their end. Nexon claims that they're stealing assets, blah blah blah, and Iron Mace is like, here is a document of all of our assets.
Yeah.
Nexon has made some funny claims, such as their items, they stole them from us because they have the same name in the file that we used for ours, and it's like Torch A, Torch B, like, oh yeah, obviously that was stolen from you. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy. And then the other day, I saw this live. I'm in their Discord, and there's an announcement on there that was announcing a GoFundMe, basically to raise funds to fight this legal battle against Nexon, because these guys don't really have any money to be doing this. And it made like 50 grand in the first hour that it was up. But the mod who posted it basically was very frank, and he was like, hey, the other devs don't know I'm posting this, but I'm fucking doing it. They are working themselves to death for this game. I know you guys appreciate it, so we just need some help. If you can donate any money to help us, that would be dope. And then that got taken down after like an hour, and another developer was like, hey, this is something that we were planning on doing. This is not how we wanted to do it. We're going to take this down. We will let you know if we put it back up. Thank you for your support. And that's kind of where it's at right now. Dark and Darker is kind of in limbo. But yeah, it seems like Nexon is just sour grapes right now and trying to sue their pants off. But Iron Mace seems to definitely have the ability to raise the funds to fight them in court if they need to.
Yeah, it sounds like Nexon is trying to sue them out of being able to make the game. Like, to sue them because small dev team, all that good stuff kind of thing. It would have been like if somebody would have sued that Valheim team before they tried to, like, release that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know. Dark and Darker is a good game. I'm glad to know that, as of now at least, that there's no stolen assets or anything. Because, you know, even when you buy legitimate assets and put them in your game, sometimes you get drugged through the mud pretty
Right.
hardcore. So I'm glad that there's no stolen assets and stuff like that. But yeah, what? Nexon. You could have just made the game yourselves instead of shit.
They had their chance, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, now you're mad about it because it was popular? Like, that sounds like a bad business decision. Like, I don't know what to... They happen. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it comes off to me, is just Nexon, like, we fucked up.
Yeah.
We need to do something about this.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me, too. I don't know, man. But anyways, what was the next thing that you... Oh, PlayStation's thing. PlayStation's rumored handheld. I honestly, I don't know how to describe it. Because...
I will describe it.
Yeah, you got it.
The Wii U. The main console is the PlayStation 5, and the controller with the screen on it is this new thing that PlayStation's making.
It's not a Vita 2.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Like, how... so this is all rumors, right? But, you know, it's one of those things, like, where there's smoke, there's fire.
So it's what I already do using Chiaki on my Steam Deck.
That, or people do it on their phones. Like, anyways, once again, there's a lot of rumors, but where, you know, nothing's, like, actually... Oh, excuse me, confirmed. But as of right now, they're saying it's basically just a streaming device for your PlayStation 5, where you can't like on the go, like go get in the car and play your PlayStation 5 games. No, you can be in your house
like on your local network.
Yeah, on your same Wi-Fi network and play your games in bed. And it's just like there's so many ways to do that already, and it just doesn't.
Yeah, this sounds so goofy, man. Like, I don't know.
whatever chip they have in it or whatever operating system, the first thing somebody's going to do with the damn thing is hack it to run Vita games or PSP games.
100%.
The chip in it is probably the same as what
Oh.
you get in a lot of these mobile handhelds that, you know, like your Retroid Pockets and all that. So it would not shock me in the slightest if all of a sudden, within days, people are playing like Persona Portable or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
well, so it's also rumored to have the haptic feedback in the triggers and stuff like that, like the PlayStation 5 controller does.
Ah, yes, the gimmicks.
Yeah, so, yeah, I've been meaning to talk about that for a
They're
while.
good gimmicks, but they are gimmicks.
Dude, I don't even notice anymore. I do play my PS5 almost daily. When I play it daily, it's normally because I'm in that Madden league and we're just kind of grinding through the games and stuff.
Mhm.
When I first played Madden on the PlayStation 5, there was a very noticeable, like, when you, like, sprint with your player kind of thing, you get a little bit of feedback and stuff like that. But even when I, like, play Call of Duty or Harry Potter or anything like that, I don't notice it anymore. Like, it doesn't register when I'm playing, and the only time it does register is when I have to pull the trigger harder, and it just makes me mad. Because I'm just trying to do the thing,
Right.
and you're making it more difficult, and I wasn't
I just want to
expecting...
shoot my gun. I don't want it to vibrate this much.
Right. Well, it's not even that. It's just like... It's like some guns in like Call of Duty have a longer trigger pull is basically what it's trying to simulate. And it's like, in theory, that sounds amazing. In practice, it's awful.
Just
It's almost a
annoying.
competitive disadvantage because somebody who bought that Razer controller that doesn't have that has the hair trigger,
Right.
switch like you have on an Elite, it's just
Right.
like, oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Where you're like, pull it all the way.
Yeah. It's and it's not like super like difficult, but it's more difficult than the normal trigger pull kind of thing. It's just kind of
Right. It doesn't really add much to the
yeah,
experience.
it doesn't add value outside of like the first couple times, like the first few times you use it, right? Like the first few
Right.
times you're like, oh, this is cool as shit. Fuck yeah. Feels like a great controller. And now like I put like, I don't know, 20 hours or something in Call of Duty, nothing crazy. And I'm just like, stop it. Like just let me pull the trigger. So,
It's a novelty,
yeah.
whereas having paddles for buttons on the back is actually a
fucking love
sweet
paddles.
feature.
Love paddles. That's why I'm super glad Steam Deck has paddles. Even though I don't use them, there's still an option for me. If I ever wanted to, I can use them. So, paddles should become standard.
If you don't use them, you're using them wrong because there's so many things you can do. You can use them to turn on the gyros. You can use them for like keyboard binds. You can use them for buttons that your controller just doesn't fucking have. Like,
Tim, I play Pokemon on my Steam Deck. What do you want from me? like
I was playing NHL 94 earlier, and I definitely was just using this controller that doesn't have fucking paddles on it, anyways.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, they're definitely there. Like, if I ever played a more intense game, but I specifically don't like to play intense games on my Steam Deck because I still use my desktop, and I'm more concerned with the battery life when it comes to like the Steam Deck. Like I would rather play lighter games so the battery life lasts longer. So.
Meanwhile, I'm over here playing Elden Ring and Dark Souls.
Yeah, he is 100%. I had Elden Ring installed, maybe booted it up twice to see what it was like.
I would not have beaten Dark Souls 3 without my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I finally fucking beat the damn thing, and it's only because I could play it wherever and like get a session in here and there. Like it's crazy.
You know, the haptic feedback I think actually would add value. I know I've shared this in the chat. Have you guys seen that VR game Ghost of Tabor?
I don't recall.
Yeah, but not.
It's basically Escape from Tarkov VR, is what it is.
Oh, okay.
And I've watched this in particular. I watched this dude. He has Facebook like reels and TikToks or whatever of him playing, and he has like, you know how everyone's like consoles, but every once in a while would come out with like those little like butt stocks with like an actual trigger and stuff like that. Yeah. I think in that kind of thing where you're already like trying to change like sensations and stuff like visually, if you added it to like that piece of hardware or whatever, because he's walking around and basically the Quest controller like docks into the front of it, so he's like holding it like this kind of thing,
Right.
and then he's got it's like he's actually holding a gun basically. And if they change the trigger pull on that for like whatever gun he's running around with, I think that would be a much cooler implementation of that. But
Does
Yeah.
PSVR 2 support their haptic system on their controllers
I
for
have
PSVR?
no idea.
We should probably talk about the sales results.
I
for
was about to
PSVR.
yeah, that's exactly where I was about to go. I was about to be like, I don't think a lot of people know because nobody's buying it. It's too expensive.
It's 250,000 units they've moved, and originally they projected 2.5 million in the first release
Yeah,
window.
yeah, it's bad.
Whoa, ouch.
And this
Yep.
this is partially why I put in the chat earlier. There was a couple things. Scroll through Twitter, saw Jez, right? Jez Corden, compare the VR, like in general, just VR in general, to 3D TVs.
No.
And so I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts and like, because he was like, it's the 3D TV of this generation, right?
Negative.
Super cool technology, not getting adopted.
3D TV, especially when it comes to gaming, lasted a generation. It was the PS3 thing. You had the Sony PlayStation TV that you got for your PS3 that supported that feature.
Right.
The coolest thing about it was somebody could be watching a show or a movie while you played a game wearing the 3D glasses, and you wouldn't know, like the other person wouldn't know. Like that was kind of cool, but that was its gimmick, and that was it. 3D TV kind of died after that. VR started around the same time. VR has been a thing for over a decade that continues to like look at when the first Oculuses came out.
I would say when it came out and when it became actually viable for like mass consumption as
3D TV never became viable.
I remember
ever.
seeing people like my dad talked about buying one. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but did he? That's my thing. There were a
No.
lot of people. They were on shelves, and a lot of people talked about buying them. But how many people do you know own one?
I don't
didn't
know.
know any.
I don't know any, but I don't feel like VR headsets were on shelves 10 years ago. For like
Not on
mass
shelves, but you could get them.
mass
But like,
consumption.
how many people do you know own a VR headset?
2, including myself. No, I don't count your ghetto-ness.
I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me.
I'm talking about it's Luke, right?
Shane, Luke. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Shane had one. So that's 3.
Shane has one.
Mhm.
Luke has one. You have one. I work with a bunch of people that have them.
Yeah.
Like I know way more people that have VR headsets or play VR than ever touched a 3D TV. Like, is it mainstream like a gaming console or a regular TV?
Right.
Not quite, but it's closer than it's ever been, and a lot of that has to do with, unfortunately, the Quest 2 and
yeah.
Meta's whole thing. Yeah, but like, you didn't have a Meta pushing 3D TV. You didn't have Sony tried, and they were like the closest,
Right.
but there was not the adoption rate that you had with VR. So I would say, if you want to say a more successful version of this generation's version of that, sure, but it's also been just lasted way longer than a single gaming generation. So I don't know.
Yeah. I barely remembered 3D TVs as a concept.
Yeah.
But I kind of get the sentiment because it feels like VR. It feels like it hasn't gone anywhere, you know, like it's
100%
still
agree.
just been waiting and waiting to hit
Mhm.
that stride,
Yep.
and it hasn't.
Yep.
So it feels like no innovation is happening, which I'm sure stuff is happening, but it's just not there yet. Could it get there eventually? Yes. Will it? I don't know.
Yeah. So here's my like overall take. VR, super cool concept. Really hard to buy into, because even with the Quest, right, which I have, the issue I run into now is like I don't have the same space I did when I originally got it, right? So it's in my closet gathering dust right now because I don't have a space to play it. And then so like space, like first price is a barrier, right?
Yeah.
Especially when Meta raised the prices, and now I think they've decreased them again by $100. Like, yeah,
That would be news to me.
Tim, you would know better than me because you sell them.
Yeah,
I'm
we
assuming you
do.
sell them.
Yeah, we do.
But I watch a guy for VR stuff, right? And I think he said that Meta was reversing that $100 price hike. I could be wrong. I watched that video a few weeks ago. So, but the first barrier is the price, and then if you don't get the Quest 2,
It's not quite where it was. It's the new lower price, which is
okay.
still more than the old price. They cut the price by $50 on the 256 model.
Okay. So, yeah, first barrier being price. If you don't get the Quest 2, which is no tether, right? You're able to walk around with no tether. You can play games on it and this, that, and the other thing. Then on top of that, you have the price of the VR headset, which is anywhere from, at the lowest, I think is $400, and at the high end is $1,000. But on top of that, you have to have a high-end computer to run that stuff. And then it's tethered, right? And so then you're like, oh, I don't want to trip over my tethers. So you make a pulley system and wherever like you're playing this, like the barrier to entry is very high, and so I think, and I think we're seeing that, right? Even with the PS5, which doesn't help the barrier to entry thing. You have to have a PS5, which is already $500 in America, $600 in basically every other country in the fucking world now. Right, and then you have to buy the headset, which I think is $700. I believe
that was $550.
I can't I could totally be wrong on the price. I just remember it's more expensive than the PlayStation. So, like you're looking at anywhere from $1,150 to like $1,200-$1,300 just to play VR.
$549.99.
Okay, so $1,150 to play.
Yep.
And that's if it includes a game, which I think it doesn't include for Horizon. With the purchase of, I could be wrong again, right? Like, but like you get one game, like you get that one game, and you paid $1,150 to play one game. Like that's crazy. Like you could get a fairly decent, like, PC for that. Like maybe not a 4090, but you know what I mean. You could get like a 4070 and a good processor and like all that good shit.
You can't get a 4090 for that. So you think maybe not? Definitely not a 4090. Yeah. 4090 is $1,600.
Oh yeah. I forgot they overpriced the fuck out of their shit. I say as I bought a 3090 at $2,000. Like don't ignore me. But yeah, I think that's really the biggest issue for VR, and so I don't think there's been any innovation because there's nobody adopting it. Like that, right. Not anymore, right? You had the big rush of like, when I bought mine, right? I kind of bought mine like right when everybody else was. And there's some really cool, Blade and Sorcery is one of the coolest fucking experiences, like gaming experiences I've ever had. Fucking love that game. Cool. I would play that game every fucking day if I had the space, especially if I could get my Wi-Fi to figure its life out and I could do it off Steam. And like add the mods and shit, or like holy, like it's too good. It's too good.
I am very curious to see what happens if and when, because Valve has a codename Deckard VR headset.
Yeah.
Which I think it's funny that Deckard, obviously, like it's the way that they have, right, and the way that they have there's a lot of like data mining with Valve stuff that's kind of revealed this shit. Whether or not it ever releases, who knows? But supposedly it uses a x86 processor and an ARM chip talking to each other. So 2 units. It's supposed to run off of SteamOS 3, kind of like Hollow, and the whole Hollow deck, because SteamOS is called Hollow, and this is So like, there's a lot of things that are kind of fucking cool about it, but that are conceptually could be really cool, but nobody fucking knows. So there are headsets yet to come that, depending what they're priced at, could be really cool. But also, is it going to cost $1,000 just like the Index? Because then that's a continued barrier to entry. So you're not wrong. I'm most interested. There was that handheld / VR headset that I sent you a link to, Cody.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I want to see how that works because
it was only
depending on what operating system you use. So it's a handheld device that slots into like a Yeah, it's a Switch, but the
Oh,
dock is a
okay.
VR headset.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
cool idea. I'm
It's a
very
really cool idea.
skeptical, but it's
Is
a
it
cool
gonna
idea.
work well? Who knows? Like
Yeah.
you could at least play retro games. You could at least emulate on it from all the
Right.
reviews that I saw. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
But like it would be really cool to see that something like that. So there are people trying to innovate, but yeah, I will agree with you, Cody. There are barriers to entry that make it very
And-
difficult for it to ever become mainstream. That I think will continue. So
Yeah, and we didn't even get into like the motion trackers for like your feet and stuff, so you can get your feet into VR and stuff. Like there is so much. If you get a fully tracked body in VR, it's like I haven't done it, but like I said, I've watched a bunch of videos on it because I have disposed. No, I'm talking about like accurate, not the Kinect camera. Kinect camera's fine. It's a way to do it, but I'm talking about like they have these like things you can connect to your shoes, and it can more accurately track like where that stuff is. I have at times more disposable income. I've thought about, delving into that, but I don't have the space anymore, which has really like halted all of VR for
Right.
me, kind of thing. But yeah, man, like imagine being able to Sparta kick people like legit in Blade and Sorcery. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yes.
just I don't know. But so yeah, I just
Cody, I'm putting something in the chat just for you.
oh awesome. I this is gonna be great. But yeah, no, I wish VR could be adopted by more people because it is a super super cool experience. But I think that the PlayStation VR 2 headset is proving that it's not meant for the gaming space, which is unfortunate. So I think you'll see like indie games made for it. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we never. I mean, the adoption rate kind of kicked up a little bit for a while with VR, and we got like Half-Life Alyx, which
Yep.
was kind of like a flagship title, but
Yeah.
it couldn't be a flagship title for all VR systems.
Nope.
Just the Valve Index,
Yep.
basically. So, I think that's something that hurts VR a lot. Is there's not a lot of standardization. There are these different marketplaces.
Yep.
So even if somebody gets into it, they're not going to be able to access the same things that other people are accessing.
Right.
So you've got a few different audiences within VR just from that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I don't know. It's just very disappointing to me because when I saw Jez say that on Twitter, it made me realize that probably is the prevailing like opinion in general for VR, right? Because people are like, why would I buy that when I could put that money to a Steam Deck? You know what I mean? That's just way more viable. You can use it everywhere. Like it just makes way more sense because it's already a companion for anybody who has Steam. And if you don't have Steam, welcome to Steam. You can play it anywhere. You know what I mean? Like
You don't have Steam. Who are you?
Who are
huh?
you?
You're not watching this. You're not listening to this podcast or watching it if you don't have Steam.
I just want to say Steam probably saw an uptick in new accounts that are handheld only, and I wouldn't be surprised. And I love those people because welcome to Steam.
I think they've sold 2 million units now for Steam Decks.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. It is crazy, but I'm glad that they entered the space because maybe one day somebody will kick Nintendo in the ass to make a
Give
new
me
Switch.
Steam machines
Maybe
too.
someday.
Yeah.
We can dream.
I know we can. Is there anything else you guys want to hit tonight? We're a little over, so
Yeah. Before we wrap up, we talked about Sony's handheld being dumb. There's a handheld coming out that, depending on the price, may or may not be dumb. It is the only thing that makes me go, oh, I might want to get a new one. Because there's always new handheld gaming PCs. Aya Neo. There's the Ein Lokis that are coming out slowly but surely. There's the 1X players. Like, there's a lot of cool Windows-based handhelds that exist. The problem is they're all much more expensive than my Steam Deck and not that much better. So I always just go, okay, well, that's not going to be worth it for me. Asus has one coming that basically just looks like a Steam Deck that they make a lot of very big performance claims. That's going to run on a APU that's AMD Ryzen 7000 series. So I've got my eyes peeled on that, and we don't have a lot of information, but Linus Tech Tips did a hands-on review of it.
it's pretty
impressive stuff.
Yeah,
Steam Deck ain't good
favorable.
enough, huh?
Well, it is, but
talking
1080p 100 Well, see, here's the thing. It's a 120 hertz screen and it's 1080p. So there are some games there are some games that I play on there that would absolutely benefit from that. Now, if I were playing Elden Ring on the thing, it's not going to hit 1080p, 120 hertz. Obviously, that game's capped at 60. But what I'm saying is, AAA games, you're not going to get that kind of performance guaranteed.
Right.
But there are definitely games where it would be super beneficial, like Hades on a 120 hertz screen is nice.
Yes.
And that would be great on a handheld. But it all is going to come down to cost. A lot of the problem that these other companies have is they're smaller companies that need to make money off their hardware and can't subsidize things and get things at a cheap price. Like Aya Neo doesn't get processors for cheap from AMD, but Asus might.
Yeah.
So if we're talking, it's going to cost, because considering it's going to have an APU and no graphics card in it, and the cooling solution is going to be probably going to, on the low end, cost $700. On the high end, it'll be over $1,000, maybe even $1,500. And the coolest part of it, though, is it has this slot that you can connect a eGPU to. So if you're playing docked to a TV, you can run it on a fucking 4090.
That'd be cool.
You want to play 4K 120 hertz? Boom, you plug that fucker into your TV, away you go. You want to play on the go? Okay, you unplug it. You're back to 1080p, whatever performance you get out of that on your handheld. So it's a cool concept. There's a lot of cool things about it. I highly recommend checking out the videos that are out there on it. But it's something to watch because it's only good if the price is right. And
100%.
that's the thing that the Steam Deck has going for it, is you can't really beat it price to performance in that space right now. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole 2-minute spiel I had on that. So.
Yeah, no. I know. I kept cutting off all your jumping in points for that earlier because I wanted to talk about VR.
You're fine.
So
You're
my
fine.
bad. All right, well, closing thoughts. I will go first. I'd like to apologize for my aggressiveness about Zelda earlier. It doesn't look like shit, but it doesn't look great, and I think I was projecting my frustration with the Switch holding back games that can be totally fantastic. It doesn't look like shit, but it doesn't look good either. Okay.
Fair.
Did you go back and watch it back?
No, I didn't. But I started thinking about how aggressive I was. I was like, that was a little.
It's
much.
like it was like you almost sounded like me talking about Gollum. I was like, wait a minute.
No. I did think about it. I was like, it's not shit, but god damn it, Nintendo, stop holding everything back. Yeah. It's very frustrating. It could be Ghost of Tsushima, but Zelda. That's what it could be. That's what it could be, that level of beauty if Nintendo wasn't being a bunch of cheap fucks with their hardware. Anyways, I'm done.
You mentioned Ghost of Tsushima. Did you guys know that the guy who directs the John Wick movies is the dude who's going to direct the Ghost of Tsushima movie?
I did not, but that makes my
That
night.
could be
I'm glad that you told me
Yeah.
that. The action scenes are going to be fucking fantastic.
But on that note, we're all Lord of the Rings fans. We love Lord of the Rings movies. Did you know it's the 20th anniversary of Return of the King coming up? And they're going to be bringing that movie back to theaters from the 13th to the 19th extended edition in theaters.
I have to bring Logan.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you do.
PSA, it's happening. Check your theaters. Get your tickets.
One thing, you just made me feel old as shit because I remember seeing that in theaters when it first came out.
Yes, we're old.
20 years? Wait, hold on. Help me out, because once again, much like Star Wars, I haven't watched these movies in fucking forever. That's the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to double check. So that 20 years, I was
The way is shut.
11 or 12 when that came out.
Right. Way back. Just little.
That means the first one came out when what? I don't feel like that makes sense.
Elementary school, yes, that's correct.
But they didn't come out like back to back to back. When did the first one come out?
Year and a half, 2 years.
When did the first one come out? Now you got me curious. Because I would assume like 3 years minimum, right? I would have been 9
No.
when the first one came out.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
So the first one came out. Oh yeah, year 2000.
2001, 2002, 2003, dude.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize they came out
Well,
back to back like that.
They filmed them
Yeah,
back to back to
they
back.
filmed them all, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they filmed them
So
all and then just
They
released
spent
them a year
they
apart.
spent like over a year filming those
Oh.
movies. Like most
The
film shoots
pre-production was
they,
amazing on that.
Yeah.
yeah, most film shoots they do in like a few months, and they'll like but the Lord of the Rings, they literally all live together for like over a year. There's like documentaries about it and shit. It's amazing.
I
Super good.
obviously haven't watched any of those. I just remember the early 2000s and Lord of the Rings being really cool, and they had the Helm's Deep game. That was fucking fantastic.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's such a good game.
Dude, one of the best Mountain Blade Warband multiplayer maps ever, Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. It's very true.
Oh, one other thing I forgot about. The new Star Wars game is coming out
It
very
is.
soon.
It is. I still haven't finished
Excited?
the first one. I am. I'm excited. I heard there's a bunch of more way more customization options.
That's what I heard too. There's going to be
And-
like fighting styles as well. Sounds kind of like Ghost of Tsushima in a bit. in a
So
way.
we did talk about the fighting styles at one point. They revealed 3 of them. They hadn't revealed the 4th one yet. The 4th one was
Okay.
supposed to be a blaster lightsaber
Right.
fighting style kind of thing. And then the other one was like a heavy sword and then like dual sabers, and then I think the double bladed one I think is what
that
they
sounds
were.
right.
Something like that. So I am excited for it. Still haven't beat the first one. Also totally broke right now, so I'm just gonna live vicariously through other people.
It doesn't come out till the end of the month. You say broke right now. Are you gonna be broke in 4 weeks?
I have a $4,400 bill to fix my car.
Okay,
So
so
yes,
probably.
yes, I am going to be. I have to cut down
Rub it
this.
in, Tim.
I have to cut down this tree in my backyard. That's probably $700, something like that. So
I'll cut down the tree for you.
no,
Oh my
'cause
god,
I
he'll
don't.
build a whole...
I don't want.
He'll dig a whole trench.
I don't. I'm very terrified. My dad told me, he's like, I got a buddy. We can come cut it down. I'm like, Dad, it's like right next to my house. If you fuck that up, I'm losing my house.
Yeah,
so no,
dude, oh.
I'll leave it to professionals, and if they fuck
He's-
it up, I can
you-
sue them.
It's not that hard. You tie ropes around it, pulling it away from the house.
I also have a fence.
You guide
and
it.
there's other houses. It's a tall tree. What do you want from me?
Tim
Have you
is
never-
the
have you ne-
consummate troubleshooter.
Hang on. Have you never cut down a tree?
Not a
No.
gigantic tree, no.
I had to help my grandpa cut down a tree multiple times. It was very fun.
One tree, multiple times.
Yeah.
Well, no, multiple trees.
Okay.
The way you said that, it just sounded like you had to cut down
We
the
need to
same
cut it-
tree.
It was a too-fast tree.
Son of a bitch kept coming back. Wouldn't stay gone.
Oh my god. It's like the scene in Monty Python. And that one sunk. And we
Yeah.
built another one.
Oh man,
Right,
yeah. No, I got a tree in my backyard. I got cut down. Part of my fence is, dude. I got bills. That's what I got. I got bills.
Heard.
Uh,
Oh,
All right.
shit.
I think that's it.
yeah.
I think that's everything that I wanted to continue saying after the show is over.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Well, then we'll be back next week, Wednesday, at 10 o'clock ish Central. So
Like
maybe
Great.
maybe a little bit more earlier, maybe a little bit later, around 10. And we will sit here and talk about more video games, and hopefully exciting things happen over the next week, so we can
Yeah.
have something to talk about. Otherwise, we'll just play a game. I don't know what we'll play.
Yeah.
Maybe the Demonologist.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll all play that game. So.
We shall see.
Anyways, we'll see you next week. We love you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.